my home run swing. At the tender age of 6, a right-handed drive that almost every time would send the wiffle ball over the fence that separated my house from the prize, whose little kid, for some reason at age 3, called my parents by their first name. And every time I rounded those bases after another titanic drive, I'd stop between second and third, run into my house where my mother could joyously jot down which home run number I had just hit. We were up to 111 by mid-July. And then the rains came. Because Tom Daw at age 12 couldn't take it anymore, so he outsmarted me, knowing what foolish pride was. Even in a 6-year-old, he climbed up on the fence, and there he waited. And every time, like a giant bird, he'd steal the ball and steal what was rightfully mine. And so the home run derby suddenly became the Trail of Tears, where I'd run into my home, not to say, "Mommy, Mommy, look what your little boy did," but to say, "Mommy, Mommy, why are they doing this to me?" And my father looked at me and said, "Mick, take it to right field. It would have been so easy. I had half the field to hit to." And I looked at him and I said, "Dad, that's not my way. That's just not my way." And so we enter the world of professional wrestling, where Cactus Jack began to carve out his own style. A style based on blood. A style based on sweat and more than a few tears. And we enter the dressing room at Canton, Ohio in 1989. And one of the most revered figures in the history of our sport walks up to me after a particularly grueling match and says, "No one cares about you. No one cares about your style." And with a certain gleam in his eye, he told me, not as a prediction, but as fact, "A wheelchair by the time you're 30. Well, I've got 1 week to go, and I've been doing it my way, the concrete way. And I know deep in my heart that people may give lip service and say, 'Oh, poor Cactus Jack, he's got a wife and 2 kids.' But should I fail to get off the ground one of these times, and I end up where that wrestler predicted I would, deep in their hearts there'd be a look of joy. There'd be happiness, because they realized that they were right, and that the man who made their jobs just a little bit more difficult was no more. So we're 1 week away. It would be so easy just to go in, dance around, and make my way to age 30, and then I could retire having proven them all wrong. But that would be kind of like taking the ball to right field, wouldn't it?